This video is created for entertainment, storytelling, and educational purposes only. But because I knew one day someone dangerous might enter his life. Years later, he married a woman who cared more about money than family. I watched quietly as greed slowly poisoned everything around us. Then one night, while I was away in Fredericton, my phone rang. My son was screaming in panic. "Dad, she found the key. She has bolt cutters. She's trying to open the lockbox." But what neither of them knew, I had been waiting for this exact moment, and what I did next left everyone speechless. For most of my life, I believed family was everything. I spent over 30 years building a successful business from nothing. Long nights, endless sacrifices, missed birthdays, missed anniversaries. Also, my son Daniel would never struggle the way I did growing up. I loved that boy more than anything. When he was younger, every summer we disappeared into the wilderness together. There, hidden beside a quiet river surrounded by pine trees, stood a cabin no one knew about, not even my own relatives. I bought that property decades earlier and kept it secret for one reason: security. Inside that cabin sat a steel lockbox containing documents, family assets, emergency cash reserves, and something far more valuable: leverage. I never told Daniel. I promised myself I'd reveal everything when the time was right. Years passed. Daniel grew older, started his own career, and eventually introduced me to the woman who would change everything. Her name was Vanessa. From the very first handshake, I noticed something disturbing. She didn't look at Daniel with love. She looked at me, and then at my watch, my car, my house. She wasn't studying people. She was calculating value. At dinner she asked strange questions. How many properties did I own? Did I have retirement investments? How large was the company? At first, I ignored it. But over the next few months, the pattern became impossible to ignore. She constantly pushed Daniel toward expensive purchases: luxury vacations, jewelry, new cars, designer clothing. And slowly, Daniel changed. He became distant. He stopped visiting, stopped calling. Family dinners disappeared. Every conversation somehow turned toward money. One afternoon, Daniel asked if I planned on updating my will. That question hit me hard, not because he asked, but because I knew exactly whose voice I was hearing. Vanessa's. That day I made a decision. The cabin secret would remain buried forever. Months later they got married. The wedding was extravagant, ridiculously expensive. I noticed Vanessa barely smiled at Daniel, but whenever wealthy guests entered the room, suddenly she looked alive. I stayed quiet, and I watched. Over the next year, things worsened. Daniel began requesting financial help more frequently. Small loans became bigger loans. Business investments became emergency transfers. I knew someone was draining him financially. Then one evening I received shocking news. A mutual friend accidentally revealed Vanessa had been secretly researching all of my assets online. Property records, business holdings, tax documents. She was hunting, searching for hidden wealth. That was when I remembered something terrifying. Years ago I had accidentally left an old cabin key attached to spare storage keys at Daniel's apartment. If Vanessa found that key, she might trace everything. Still, I remained silent, because I needed proof. A week later I traveled to Fredericton for business meetings. Late that evening, my phone rang violently. It was Daniel. His voice shook uncontrollably. "Dad, I messed up." I stood up instantly. "What happened?" Then I heard the words I had feared. "She found the old key. She figured out the cabin location. She drove there this morning." I froze. Daniel kept speaking. "She found the lockbox. But she can't open it, Dad. She has bolt cutters." At that exact moment, I smiled. Not because I enjoyed seeing my son suffer, but because the trap had finally activated. You see, years earlier I installed something special. The lockbox wasn't normal. Tampering with the external lock triggered a silent security system connected directly to local authorities and hidden cameras inside the cabin. I had built it precisely for theft scenarios, and someone had just triggered it. Within minutes I opened the live security feed. There she was, Vanessa, wild eyes, sweating, furious. She attacked the lockbox with bolt cutters again and again. Then suddenly, flashing lights exploded outside. Police vehicles surrounded the property. She panicked,